The late summer air clings to the city like a whispered secret, sticky and warm, thick with the smell of blooming jasmine from a neighbor's balcony. Maya sits in her favorite corner booth at Luna's cafe, fingers wrapped around a steaming mug of coffee, watching the steam rise and dissipate like her scattered thoughts. Her caramel skin catches the afternoon light streaming through the large windows, and her curly black hair falls in soft waves just above her shoulders. Maya glances at her phone for the third time in 5 minutes. A group chat notification pops up. Sophia has sent another photo from her weekend getaway with Evelyn. Maya's heart does that familiar skip as she sees Evelyn's platinum blonde hair catching the sunlight, her icy blue eyes sparkling with genuine laughter as Sophia's arms wrap around her from behind. Maya says to herself, barely audible, "Stop it. Just stop." She forces herself to look away, focusing instead on the notebook spread before her, sketches and half-finished poetry scattered across the pages like broken promises. Her art has always been her escape.
If you enjoy the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe as that greatly helps the channel.
But lately, even her creativity feels tainted by thoughts she shouldn't be having about her best friend's girlfriend. The cafe door chimes, and Maya's breath catches as Sophia bounds in, her auburn hair bouncing with each step, followed more gracefully by Evelyn. Sophia waves enthusiastically while Evelyn's gaze sweeps the room before landing on Maya with that subtle smile that makes Maya's stomach flutter. Sophia calls out, "Maya. Perfect timing. We just got back from the coast and Evelyn insisted we find you." Maya closes her notebook quickly, hoping neither of them notice the sketch of familiar blue eyes she'd been working on. She stands to greet them, and when Evelyn steps forward for their usual hug, the embrace lasts just a heartbeat longer than it should. Maya catches a hint of Evelyn's perfume, something subtle and expensive that makes her head spin. Evelyn says, her voice carrying that slight rasp that always makes Maya listen closer, "We missed you this weekend. Sophia kept saying the sunset would be perfect for your photography." Maya feels heat rise in her cheeks. Evelyn remembers her photography, remembers the little details that Sophia sometimes forgets in her enthusiastic rush through life. Sophia slides into the booth across from Maya, pulling Evelyn down beside her. Maya notices how Evelyn's body seems to lean slightly away from Sophia's touch, how her eyes keep drifting back to Maya's face. Sophia bubbles with excitement as she recounts their weekend, the beach house, the local art galleries, the restaurant with the terrible service but amazing view. Maya nods and laughs at the right moments, but she's hyper-aware of Evelyn's presence, the way Evelyn's fingers drum silently against the table, the way she tilts her head when Maya speaks. Maya asks, trying to keep her voice casual, "So how long have you two been together now?"
"It feel like forever." Sophia grin and squeeze Evelyn's hand.
8 months, next week.
"Time flew when you're happy, right babe?"
Evelyn's smile seems practiced, automatic. "Right," she says, but Maya catches something in her eyes, a flicker of uncertainty that's gone as quickly as it appeared. The conversation flows around Maya like water, but she feels like she's drowning in the normalcy of it all. This is how it's always been, the three of them, easy and comfortable, except for the growing tension that only Maya seems to feel. Or so she thinks. As they prepare to leave, Sophia mentions she has to run errands, but Evelyn says she'd rather walk with Maya back to her apartment. Something about needing the exercise after all that beach food. Sophia kisses Evelyn goodbye, a quick peck that Evelyn receives rather than returns, and then it's just Maya and Evelyn walking through the tree-lined streets. The silence between them isn't uncomfortable, but it's charged with something Maya can't name. They've walked this route dozens of times, but today every step feels significant.
Evelyn breaks the quai.
"You've been distant lately." Sophia's noticed too. Maya's heart pounds. "Just busy with work, you know how it is."
Evelyn stop walking and turn to face Maya.
"Do I? Because I feel like I don't know anything anymore." There's something in Evelyn's voice, a vulnerability that Maya has never heard before. They stand there on the sidewalk, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows between them, and Maya feels like they're balanced on the edge of something that could change everything. Maya says softly, "What do you mean?" Evelyn looks away, then back at Maya. "I mean, when did everything become so complicated?" Before Maya can answer, Evelyn's phone buzzes. She glances at it and sighs.
"Sophia want to know if I'm coming over tonight."
"I should." Maya nods quickly. "Of course. Go." But as Evelyn starts to leave, she turns back.
"Maya, what there has been bothering you? I'm here if you want to talk."
Maya watches Evelyn walk away, her elegant figure disappearing around the corner, and whispers to the empty street, "That's the problem.
I don't want to talk about everything I can't say." Scène transition.
Maya's apartment feels smaller tonight, the walls seeming to press in as she paces between her easel and the window. She's been trying to paint for 2 hours, but every brushstroke turns into something that reminds her of Evelyn, the curve of her smile, the way her hair falls across her face when she's thinking. Her phone sits on the counter, silent but somehow loud with all the things she wants to say and can't. She's typed and deleted a dozen messages to Evelyn, each one crossing lines she's promised herself she wouldn't cross. Maya stares at her reflection in the darkened window and speaks to herself like she's having the conversation she can't have with anyone else.
"You're being ridiculous. She's with Sophia. Happy with Sophia.
And Sophia is your friend.
Your best friend since college."
But even as she says it, Maya remembers the look in Evelyn's eyes today, the way her body language seemed to pull away from Sophia and toward Maya.
Is it wishful thinking, or is there something real there?
The knock on her door is soft but deliberate, and Maya's heart lurches because she knows that knock. She opens the door to find Evelyn standing there, still in the same clothes from this afternoon but somehow looking different, more vulnerable, less put together.
Maya asks, "Is everything okay?"
Evelyn steps inside without being invited, moving with the familiarity of someone who's been here many times before.
But tonight feels different.
Tonight, the air between them crackles with possibility and danger. Evelyn says, her voice quieter than usual, "I told Sophia I needed some time to think. She asked what about, and I couldn't give her an answer." Maya closes the door, acutely aware of the click of the lock, the finality of it.
"And now?"
Evelyn turns to face her, and Maya sees something in her expression that makes her breath catch. It's the same look Maya's been trying to hide for months, want and fear and confusion all tangled together. Evelyn whispers, "Now I think I might have an answer, and it terrifies me." They stand there in Maya's small entryway, the space between them filled with everything they haven't said. Maya's apartment has always been a refuge, but now it feels like a confessional, a place where truths come to light whether they're wanted or not.
Maya says carefully, "What kind of answer?"
Evelyn moves closer, just one step, but it's enough to change the entire dynamic of the room.
"The kind that changes everything.
The kind that makes me understand why I've been feeling so lost lately, why being with Sophia feels like playing a role instead of being myself."
Maya s'en tremble attercide.
This is the moment she's dreamed of and dreaded in equal measure.
Evelyn.
Evelyn reaches out, her fingers barely brushing Maya's arm, but the touch sends electricity through Maya's entire body.
"I need to know if I'm imagining this.
The way you look at me sometimes, the way you seemed so sad when I talked about the weekend with Sophia.
I need to know if..."
Maya's voice is barely a whisper.
"If what?"
Evelyn's eyes search Maya's face, looking for permission, for understanding, for courage.
"If you feel this too."
The question hangs between them like a bridge neither has the courage to cross. Maya feels the weight of friendship and loyalty warring with the truth of her heart. Outside, the city hums with life, unaware of the moment unfolding in this small apartment where two women stand on the precipice of everything changing. Maya takes a shaky breath and speaks the words that will alter their relationship forever.
"I've been trying not to feel it for months. But yes, Evelyn. I feel it too."
The admission hangs in the air between them like smoke, visible and intoxicating and impossible to take back. Evelyn's eyes widen slightly, as if hearing the words spoken aloud makes them more real than any of the stolen glances or lingering touches they've shared. Maya immediately steps back, as if distance could somehow undo what she's just confessed.
"But we can't.
Sophia is my best friend, and she loves you, and this is..."
Evelyn moves closer, closing the gap Maya tried to create.
"Wrong?
Complicated?
I know all of that.
But knowing something is complicated doesn't make it less true." Maya turns away, walking toward the window that overlooks the street. She can see people moving through their evening routines, walking dogs, coming home from work, living normal lives that aren't complicated by impossible feelings for unavailable people. Maya says, her voice tight with emotion, "How long have you known?" Evelyn joins her at the window, their reflections ghost-like in the glass.
"Known for certain?"
"Tonight, when I saw the look on your face when I said I felt it too."
"But suspected?"
"Probably since that night 3 weeks ago when Sophia fell asleep during the movie and you stayed to help me clean up." Maya remembers that night vividly. They'd moved around each other in Sophia's kitchen like dancers, hyper-aware of every accidental touch, every moment when their bodies were close enough to feel each other's warmth. She'd left abruptly, claiming an early morning, but really fleeing from the intensity of wanting something she couldn't have.
Maya turned to face Evelyn.
What happened that night? I mean, what did you feel?
Evelyn's composure cracks slightly, revealing the uncertainty beneath her usually confident exterior.
I felt like I was seeing you clearly for the first time.
Not as Sophia's friend, not as someone safe and familiar, but as you. And it scared me because I realized I'd been holding back from really looking at you before.
The honesty in Evelyn's voice makes Maya's chest tight. Why?
Evelyn laughs, but there's no humor in it.
Because I think some part of me knew
that if I really saw you, really let myself acknowledge what I was feeling, everything would change. Maya moves to the couch, needing to sit before her legs give out. The weight of this conversation, of years of suppressed feelings suddenly given voice, is overwhelming.
Maya says, Sophia can never know.
What were disease, what were we feeling, she can never know.
Evelyn sits beside her, but leaves space between them, a careful distance that acknowledges the danger of being too close.
Is that what you want? To keep pretending? Maya's voice breaks slightly.
I don't know what you want.
Yes, I do. I want you.
But I also want to be able to look at myself in the mirror, and I want to keep my best friend, and I want to not feel like I'm betraying everyone I care about. Evelyn reaches out slowly, giving Maya time to pull away, and takes her hand. The touch is electric, sending warmth up Maya's arm and straight to her heart. Evelyn says softly, what if the betrayal is pretending we don't feel this? What if lying to Sophia about who we are is worse than being honest about what's happening between us? Maya looks down at their joined hands, Evelyn's fingers pale against her darker skin, elegant and soft and warm.
What is happening between us?
Evelyn is quiet for a long moment, and when she speaks, her voice is barely audible.
I think I'm falling in love with you.
And I think I've been falling for a while without letting myself acknowledge it.
The word hit Maya like a physical blow.
She's dreamed of hearing them, but now that they're spoken, they feel too big, too dangerous, too real.
Maya whisper, Evelyn.
Evelyn squeezes her hand gently. I'm not asking you to do anything about it. I'm not asking you to choose me over your friendship with Sophia.
I needed you to know.
Maya feels tears threatening and blinks them back.
This is so unfair. Evelyn asks, what is?
Maya's voice is thick with emotion. Feeling this much for someone I can't have. Having you here, being honest about your feelings, knowing that even if we both want this, acting on it would destroy everything else. They sit in silence for several minutes, hands still joined, both lost in their own thoughts. The apartment feels like a bubble removed from the rest of the world, a space where they can be honest about their feelings without having to deal with the consequences.
Finally, Evelyn speaks. Can I ask you something? Maya nods.
Evelyn hesitates, then asks, if Sophia weren't in the picture, if we'd met under different circumstances, what would you want? Maya closes her eyes, allowing herself to imagine it for just a moment, meeting Evelyn without the complication of existing relationships, being free to explore these feelings without guilt or betrayal. Maya opens her eyes and looks directly at Evelyn.
I want to know everything about you.
I'd want to take you to all my favorite places and introduce you to all my favorite books and songs.
I want to wake up next to you and see what you look like first thing in the morning.
I'd want to fight with you and make up with you and figure out how to build something real together.
Evelyn's eyes fill with tears. That is what I want to.
The moment stretches between them, heavy with longing and impossibility. Maya feels like they're standing at the edge of a cliff, and one more word, one more touch, one more honest moment might send them tumbling over the edge. Maya's phone buzzes on the coffee table, and they both jump. The spell breaks as Maya sees Sophia's name on the screen. Maya reads the message aloud. Just wanted to say thanks for keeping Evelyn company while I ran errands.
You're the best friend a girl could ask for.
Love you.
The irony of the message hits them both like a slap. Maya sets the phone down with shaking hands.
Evelyn says quietly, I should go.
Maya nods, but neither of them moves. The idea of Evelyn leaving feels unbearable, but the idea of her staying feels impossible.
Finally, Evelyn stands.
She looks down at Maya, her expression a mixture of love and heartbreak. Evelyn says, For what it's worth, I think Sophia is lucky to have you as a friend. Even if she doesn't know how lucky she is to have someone who cares enough to put her happiness above their own.
Maya stand tout, walking Evelyn tous d'or.
As Evelyn reaches for the handle, she turns back. Evelyn whispers, "This doesn't have to change everything. We can still be friends. We can still care about each other. We just know more about it now." Maya wants to believe her, but she knows that some knowledge can't be unknown, some feelings can't be unfelt. Everything has already changed, whether they acknowledge it or not. Maya says, "Be safe getting home." Evelyn lingers for a moment longer, as if memorizing Maya's face, then opens the door and steps into the hallway.
Good night, Maya.
Maya closes the door and leans against it, sliding down until she's sitting on the floor. The apartment feels enormous now, empty and echoing with everything they said and everything they didn't say. She pulls out her phone and stares at Sophia's message, the words blurring through her tears.
Maya whisper tous anti-room. I'm sorry, Soph.
I'm so sorry. The next day, Maya sits across from Sophia at their usual lunch spot, a trendy salad place downtown where Sophia likes to people watch between bites of kale. Maya pushes her food around her plate, stomach too knotted to eat, while Sophia chatters about her morning at the gallery where she works. Sophia says, "So then this collector walks in claiming he has an original Rothko in his garage, and I'm thinking, sure buddy, right next to your original Picasso and your genuine Van Gogh, but it turns out." Maya tries to focus on Sophia's story, but her mind keeps drifting to last night, to the weight of Evelyn's hand in hers, to the way Evelyn's voice sounded when she said she was falling in love.
Sophia wava hand in front of Maya's face. Heurt to Maya. You're a million miles away. Maya force a smile.
Sorry, just tired.
Late night.
Sophia's expression softens with concern. You've seemed off lately.
Everything okay?
The irony isn't lost on Maya. Here's her best friend, genuinely worried about her, while Maya harbors feelings for that same friend's girlfriend. The guilt sits heavy in Maya's chest. Maya says, "Just work stuff."
You know how it is.
Sophia nods understandingly. "Well, you need to take better care of yourself. Speaking of which, Evelyn mentioned you two had a good talk yesterday. She seemed, I don't know, different when she got home. More relaxed, maybe." Maya's heart races.
Différent how? Sophia considère 10.
She's been kind of tense lately. Distant. But last night she seemed more like herself. Whatever you talked about must have helped.
Maya feels sick.
Sophia is crediting her with helping Evelyn feel better, when what they actually talked about could destroy Sophia's relationship. Maya asks carefully, has she seemed unhappy? Sophia's fork pauses halfway to her mouth. Why would you ask that? Maya scrambles to cover. No reason. Just, you mentioned she'd been tense. Sophia sets down her fork and really looks at Maya for the first time during lunch.
Maya, is there something you want to tell me?
For a terrifying moment, Maya considers it. Considers telling Sophia everything, the months of suppressed feelings, last night's conversation, the way her heart breaks a little every time she sees them together. But then she imagines the look on Sophia's face, the hurt and betrayal, the end of their friendship. Maya shakes her head.
No, nothing.
I just want you to be happy. Sophia reaches across the table and squeezes Maya's hand. I know you do. That's what makes you such a good friend. The words are like knives. Maya excuses herself to go to the bathroom, where she splashes cold water on her face and stares at her reflection. The woman looking back at her seems like a stranger, someone capable of lying to her best friend, someone harboring feelings that could destroy the people she cares about most. When Maya returns to the table, Sophia is checking her phone. Sophia says, Evelyn's picking me up in a few minutes. We're going to look at apartments. Maya's stomach drops.
Appartement. Sophia grin.
We've been talking about moving in together. Nothing's decided yet, but we figured we should start looking.
The news hits Maya like a physical blow.
Moving in together means Evelyn and Sophia are getting more serious, more committed, more permanent. It means Maya's feelings are not only inappropriate but also hopeless. Maya manages to keep her voice steady. That's great, sophomore. Really great.
Through the restaurant window, Maya sees Evelyn carpool up.
Even from this distance, Maya can see Evelyn behind the wheel, her blonde hair catching the sunlight.
Sophia gâtait her things.
Want to come say hi? Maya shakes her head quickly. I should get back to work.
Sophia hug Maya goodbye, and Maya watched through the window as Sophia joined to the passenger seat. For just a moment, Evelyn's eyes meet Maya's through the glass.
The look they share is brief but loaded with everything they can't say, everything they can't act on. Then the car pulls away, taking Evelyn and Sophia off to look at apartments where they'll build a life together, leaving Maya alone with her untouched salad and her breaking heart.
3 weeks later.
Maya stands in Sophia and Evelyn's new apartment, holding a bottle of wine and wearing her best fake smile. The housewarming party is in full swing, friends from college, co-workers from Sophia's gallery, Evelyn's sophisticated law firm colleagues all mingling in the spacious living room with its exposed brick and floor-to-ceiling windows. Maya has managed to avoid being alone with Evelyn since their conversation 3 weeks ago, communicating only through group texts and keeping any interactions brief and public. But tonight, in this space that Evelyn and Sophia have made their own, Maya feels the weight of everything unsaid pressing down on her. Sophia appears at Maya's elbow, slightly tipsy and glowing with happiness.
Can you believe this place?
I keep expecting to wake up and find out it's all a dream.
Maya looks around at the carefully curated furniture, the art on the walls, the photos of Sophia and Evelyn already displayed on side tables. It's beautiful and sophisticated and everything Sophia has always wanted.
Maya says, it's perfect, sophomore. Really perfect.
Sophia beam.
Evelyn has such good taste.
I never would have thought to put that painting there, but she insisted it would catch the light just right, and she was totally right. As if summoned by the mention of her name, Evelyn appears beside them, carrying a tray of appetizers. She's dressed in a sleek black dress that makes her eyes look even more striking, and when she smiles at Sophia, Maya sees genuine affection there.
Evelyn says, Maya, I'm so glad you could make it. What do you think of the place?
This is the first time they've spoken directly in weeks, and Maya feels the familiar flutter in her chest at the sound of Evelyn's voice.
Maya says, it's beautiful. You two have great taste.
Evelyn's eyes lingeaient en Maya's face for juste un moment tout long.
Thank you. That means a lot coming from you. Sophia wraps an arm around Evelyn's waist. Doesn't she look amazing? I told her that dress was perfect for tonight.
Evelyn's body seems to tense slightly at the touch, but she smiles at Sophia.
You're biased.
Maya excuses herself to get another drink, needing distance from the sight of them together, from the reminder of what she can't have. In the kitchen, she leans against the counter and takes deep breaths, trying to compose herself.
A voice behind her says, You okay?
Maya turns to find Jake, one of Sophia's college friends, looking at her with concern. Jake has always been perceptive, and Maya worries about what he might see in her face.
Maya says, Just needed some air. It's warm in there.
Jake nods, but his expression suggests he's not entirely convinced. You know, I've been watching you tonight, and you look like someone at a funeral instead of a housewarming party.
Maya force à l'augue. Des thèses dramatiques.
Jake shrug. Maybe.
Or maybe you're dealing with something heavy and trying to hide it. Before Maya can respond, Evelyn enters the kitchen, ostensibly looking for more ice but her eyes immediately finding Maya.
Evelyn says, Jake, Sophia's looking for you. Something about the playlist.
Jake glances between Maya and Evelyn, and Maya sees the moment when understanding dawns in his eyes. He's always been too smart for his own good.
Jake says quietly, I'll go find Sophia.
After he leaves, Maya and Evelyn are alone for the first time in weeks. The kitchen suddenly feels too small, the air charged with everything they've been avoiding.
Evelyn says, You've been avoiding me. Maya keeps her eyes on her wine glass. I've been busy.
Evelyn moves closer, lowering her voice.
Maya, we said we could still be friends. Maya finally looks up, and the pain in her eyes is unmistakable.
Can we?
Because standing here, in the home you share with my best friend, pretending I don't feel what I feel. It doesn't feel like friendship.
It feels like torture. Evelyn's composure crack.
Do you think this is easy for me? Do you think I don't think about our conversation every single day? Maya glances toward the living room, where they can hear Sophia's laughter above the music.
But you're happy. You're building a life with her.
Evelyn's voice is barely a whisper.
I'm trying to be.
I'm trying to want the life I'm supposed to want. The words hang between them, loaded with implication. Maya sets down her wine glass with shaking hands. Maya says, "Don't.
Don't say things like that."
Evelyn asks, "Why?" "Because it makes it real." Before Maya can answer, Sophia appears in the kitchen doorway, her face bright with wine and happiness. Sophia says, "There you are. Maya, you have to come see the bedroom." Evelyn found this amazing vintage mirror that makes the whole room look twice as big. Maya and Evelyn spring apart, though they weren't actually touching. The guilt on both their faces is immediate and obvious, at least to Maya. Sophia looks between them, her smile faltering slightly. "Is everything okay?" Evelyn recovers first. "Of course. Maya was just telling me how much she likes the apartment." Sophia's expression clears, but Maya catches a flicker of something, confusion maybe, or the beginning of suspicion. Sophia says, "Well, come on. The tour isn't complete without the bedroom." Maya follows them down the hallway, feeling like she's walking to her own execution. The bedroom is beautiful, all soft grays and whites with pops of color from artwork and throw pillows. The bed is king-sized with a wrought iron headboard, and Maya tries not to think about Evelyn and Sophia sharing it every night. Sophia chatters about their plans for the space while Maya nods and makes appropriate sounds. But when Sophia steps into the walk-in closet to show off the organization system, Maya and Evelyn are alone again, standing awkwardly beside the bed they both can't help but notice. Evelyn whispers urgently, "Maya, I need to tell you something." Maya shakes her head. "Not here. Not now." Evelyn grabs Maya's wrist gently. "Please.
Just listen."
Maya looks toward the closet where they can hear Sophia moving hangers around, then back at Evelyn's desperate expression. Evelyn says quickly, "I've been thinking about what you said, about this being torture.
You're right.
And I can't keep pretending that moving in together, playing house, is going to make me stop feeling what I feel for you." Maya's heart races.
Evelyn, stop.
Evelyn continues, her voice barely audible. "I think I need to end things with Sophia."
The word it Maya like a sledgehammer.
Before she can respond, Sophia emerges from the closet, beaming. Sophia says, "What do you think?"
Pretty impressive organisation system, right?
Maya stares at Sophia, sweet, trusting, happy Sophia who has no idea that her girlfriend is talking about leaving her, that her best friend has feelings for that same girlfriend. The guilt is overwhelming. Maya says abruptly, "I have to go."
Sophia's face false.
Already?
The party just started.
Maya is already moving toward the door. "I'm sorry, I just remembered I have an early morning." She practically runs from the bedroom, through the living room full of people celebrating Sophia and Evelyn's new life together, and out the front door. The cool night air hits her face as she stands on the sidewalk, trying to catch her breath. Behind her, she hears the apartment door open and close, then footsteps on the pavement.
Evelyn calls out, "Maya, ouais."
Maya turns around, and seeing Evelyn standing there in her perfect black dress, looking beautiful and conflicted and completely off-limits, something inside Maya snaps. Maya says, voice shaking with emotion, "No. Just no. You don't get to do this."
Evelyn step closer.
"Do what?" Maya's voice rises, not caring who might hear. "You don't get to tell me you're thinking about leaving Sophia and then expect me to be okay with that."
You don't get to make me complicit in breaking my best friend sat. Evelyn looks stricken.
"That's not what I meant." Maya cuts her off. "Isn't it? Because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like you want me to give you permission to blow up your relationship so we can be together." Evelyn's voice is desperate.
You want to be honest about what I'm feeling. Maya look bitterly.
"Honest?
You want to talk about honest?
Honest would be telling Sophia how you feel instead of telling me. Honest would be figuring out your relationship with her before involving me. Honest would be not standing in the bedroom you share with her and telling another woman you're thinking about leaving."
Evelyn's eyes fill with tears. You're right.
"You're absolutely right." Maya feels her own tears starting.
I love Sophia.
"She's been my best friend for 8 years. And I love you, which is the most complicated, impossible thing I've ever felt. But I won't be the reason her heart gets broken." The admission hangs between them. Maya has finally said the words out loud, finally acknowledged the depth of her feelings.
Evelyn whisper, "You love me."
Maya wipes her eyes angrily.
It doesn't matter.
It can't matter.
Evelyn reaches for her, but Maya steps back. Maya says, "Figure out what you want, Evelyn. But figure it out without me. I can't be part of this anymore."
Maya turns and walks away, leaving Evelyn standing alone on the sidewalk.
As she turns the corner, Maya can hear the sounds of the party continuing inside, laughter and music and the celebration of a relationship that might be about to implode. 2 days after the housewarming party, Sophia sits in her new living room, staring at her phone. She's called Maya 3 times, and each call has gone straight to voicemail. Maya hasn't responded to texts either, which is completely unlike her. Evelyn emerges from the bedroom, dressed for work but moving with uncharacteristic lethargy. She's been distracted since the party, claiming work stress, but Sophia isn't buying it. Sophia says, "Have you talked to Maya?" Evelyn freezes, coffee mug halfway to her lips. "What? No, why?"
Sophia turned to face her.
"She left the party so abruptly the other night, and now she's not returning my calls. I'm worried about her." Evelyn sits down carefully, not meeting Sophia's eyes. "I'm sure she's just busy." Sophia studies Evelyn's face, noting the tension in her jaw, the way she's avoiding eye contact. "What happened between you two?"
Evelyn's head snaps up.
"What do you mean?" Sophia's voice sharpens with suspicion. "I mean, you were both acting weird at the party. You were in the kitchen together, and when I found you, you both looked guilty about something. Then she practically ran out of the bedroom after your little private conversation." Evelyn sets down her coffee with trembling hands.
Sophia,
Sophia feels cold dread settling in her stomach. "Oh my God. Something did happen."
Evelyn's silence is confirmation enough.
Sophia stands up abruptly, pacing to the window and back. Sophia says, her voice rising, "How long?"
Evelyn whispers, "How long what?"
Sophia spins around to face her.
"How long have you had feeling for my best friend?"
Evelyn's face crumbles, and Sophia has her answer. The betrayal hits her like a physical blow, not just from Evelyn, but from Maya too.
Her best friend, the person she trusted most in the world.
Sophia says, "Jesus, Evelyn."
Maya?
Really? Evelyn starts to cry. "I never meant for it to happen. I tried to ignore it, tried to make it go away."
Sophia looked harshly.
"But you couldn't. And Maya? Does she feel the same way?" Evelyn's hesitation answers that question too. Sophia sinks onto the couch, the full scope of the betrayal washing over her. "How long have you both been lying to me?" Evelyn moves toward her, but Sophia holds up a hand to stop her.
Maya?
"Really?"
My best friend.
Sophia's voice is raw, laced with disbelief and a deep stinging hurt. She takes a step back, as if Evelyn's proximity is suddenly unbearable. "All this time, you two have been, what?"
Flirting behind my back?
"Whispering secrets when I wasn't looking." Evelyn finally meets Sophia's gaze, her own eyes brimming with tears. "No. It's not like that, Sophia."
Nothing happened.
"I swear Maya would never."
Don't you dare plus dire son Maya.
Sophia cuts her off, her voice cracking.
She's my friend. My best friend.
"And you're the woman I was going to spend my life with. The woman I just moved in with." Her gaze sweeps around their new living room, the space they'd so carefully crafted together, and it suddenly feels like a stage for a cruel deception. Was any of it real, Evelyn? Was any of our happiness real, or was it just a performance while you pined for someone else? Evelyn stands, her hands outstretched in a desperate plea. "It was real, Sophia. Every moment with you was real.
He loved you.
I care about you so much. This feeling for Maya, it's new, it's confusing, and it terrifies me. I didn't want it." "Didn't want it?"
Sophia looked, a harsh, humorless sound.
"But you entertained it, didn't you? You nurtured it. You talked to her about it. While I was making plans, looking at apartments, dreaming about our future, you were having secret heart-to-hearts with my best friend about how you felt about her." The words are a torrent, fueled by a searing pain. "And Maya?
My God, Maya.
How could she?"
She knew everything.
"She knew how much I love you, how happy I was."
Evelyn takes a tentative step forward. Sophia, please.
"Let's talk about this calmly.
Calmly. Sophia's voice rises to a near shout. There's no calmly about this, Evelyn. My entire world just got ripped apart. The two people I trusted most, the two people I built my life around, have been hiding this from me. She points a trembling finger at the door. Get out. I can't even look at you right now. Evelyn recoils as if struck. Sophia, where am I supposed to go?
This is my home too.
No. Sophia screams, tears finally streaming down her face. This is our home, the home we built, based on a lie.
Get out, Evelyn.
Now. Evelyn stands frozen for a moment, her face a mask of anguish. She looks around the apartment, at the unpacked boxes, the carefully placed art, the life they were supposed to have. Then slowly, she turns and walks toward the bedroom, her shoulders slumped. Sophia watches, her chest heaving, as Evelyn gathers a small bag, pulls on a jacket, and returns to the living room. She pauses at the doorway, her eyes pleading. Sophia, please, Evelyn whispers, her voice thick with unshed tears. Just tell me you'll consider talking when you're ready. I need you to understand. Sophia turns her back, refusing to look at her. There's nothing to understand, Evelyn. Just leave. With a ragged sigh, Evelyn opens the apartment door and slips out, the soft click of the lock echoing in the sudden cavernous silence of the apartment. Sophia stands alone amidst the remnants of her shattered dreams, the scent of Evelyn's subtle, expensive perfume still clinging to the air, mingling with the faint aroma of jasmine from the open window. She sinks to the floor, wrapping her arms around herself, and for the first time in her life, Sophia feels utterly, completely alone. Days bleed into a week. Maya's apartment is a disaster, mirroring the chaos in her mind. Unwashed dishes pile in the sink, art supplies are scattered haphazardly, and the blinds are drawn, casting the room in a perpetual twilight. Her phone lies abandoned on the counter, a constant, silent accusation. She hasn't picked up a brush since that night, the vibrant colors of her palette now seeming dull and meaningless. Maya sits hunched on her couch, wrapped in a faded blanket, staring blankly at the wall. Every hour feels like an eternity of regret and self-loathing.
She keeps replaying Sophia's last message, You're the best friend a girl could ask for. Love you, and the word twist in her gut like a knife.
The irony is a physical weight, pressing down on her chest until she can barely breathe.
A soft, insist knock sounds at the door.
Maya tenses, her heart leaping into her throat. She hasn't heard from Sophia, and she's been dreading a confrontation. She thought about ignoring it, pretending not to be home, but the knock comes again, a little louder this time.
Maya slowly gets up, her leg feeling heavy.
She peers through the peephole.
It's Evelyn.
Her face is pale and drawn, her usual polished demeanor replaced by a haunted exhaustion. She's holding a small, crumpled bag. Maya hesitates, then slowly unlocks and opens the door, just a crack.
Evelyn?
What are you doing here? Evelyn's voice is hoarse, fragile.
Sophia, she knows.
I told her.
Maya is Brisic.
The news she dreaded, the explosion she tried to prevent, has finally happened. Her stomach churns. Is she okay?
Evelyn shook her head slowly, tears welling in her eyes.
No. She's not. She told me to leave. I have nowhere to go, Maya. Her gaze is desperate, pleading. Can I just stay here for a bit?
Just for tonight?
I don't know where else to go.
Maya es mein Ras. Sophia.
Betrayal. The lines she swore she wouldn't cross. But looking at Evelyn, so utterly broken and lost, Maya's resolve crumbles. The thought of Evelyn out on the streets, alone, is unbearable. Maya opens the door wider, stepping back to let Evelyn in.
Come in.
Her voice is barely a whisper, heavy with the weight of the new reality that is crashing down around them. Evelyn steps inside, bringing with her the lingering scent of that subtle, expensive perfume, now tainted with the smell of fresh tears. The apartment suddenly feels even smaller, more fraught. Evelyn drops her bag by the door, her shoulders slumping. Thank you, Evelyn says, her voice barely audible. She looks at Maya, her eyes swimming with a mixture of gratitude and profound sadness.
I'm so sorry, Maya. I'm so sorry for everything.
Maya closes the door, leaning against it, her gaze fixed on Evelyn. The air between them is thick with shared grief, shattered trust, and an undeniable, terrifying attraction.
They are both standing in the wreckage of their lives, and the silence is deafening. Maya asks, her voice tight, "What are we going to do?" Evelyn looks at her, her beautiful icy blue eyes filled with a raw, vulnerable plea.
I don't know.
But I know I can't do it alone. The first slivers of dawn peek through the gaps in Maya's drawn blinds, painting faint stripes of gray across the cluttered room. Maya lies on her couch, curled into a tight ball, listening to the soft, even breathing from her bed, where Evelyn eventually fell into a restless sleep. She hadn't slept, not really. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Sophia's face, heard her angry, heartbroken voice. The guilt was a physical ache, deep in her bones. This wasn't how she wanted it. Never. She'd envisioned a world where Evelyn miraculously fell out of love with Sophia, where they could meet organically, without this web of deceit and pain. But life rarely gives you the clean break you hope for. She hears a soft rustle from the bedroom, then the creak of the floorboards. Evelyn emerges, wrapped in one of Maya's old t-shirts, too big on her, making her seem smaller, more fragile. Her blonde hair is a mess, and her eyes are still swollen from crying.
Evelyn walks to the window and pulls open the blind, letting in the harsh light of a new day.
She winces, then turns to face Maya. Evelyn says, her voice still raspy from sleep and tears, "I should go. I can't. I can't keep imposing on you." Maya sits up, pushing the blanket away. "Where would you go?" Evelyn shrugs, a defeated gesture.
À hôtel. Back to my parents, place, Meb. Anywhere buir.
It's not fair to you, Maya. And it's definitely not fair to Sophia. The mention of Sophia hangs heavy between them. Maya finally says what she's been grappling with all night. "She's not answering my calls either. I tried again this morning." Evelyn walks over and sits on the floor beside the couch, resting her head against the armrest, close enough for Maya to feel the warmth radiating off her. "She won't. She told me she never wants to see either of us again." Maya closes her eyes, a fresh wave of agony washing over her.
This is all wrong, Evelyn.
Evelyn lifts her head, looking up at Maya with a weary intensity. "I know it is. I never meant for any of this to happen. But Maya, after all this, after everything, after telling Sophia,
I can't regret how I feel about you."
Maya opens her eyes and looks down at Evelyn. There it is again, that raw honesty that cuts through all the chaos. It's terrifying, exhilarating, and utterly, impossibly real. Evelyn reaches out, her hand hovering just above Maya's. Do you regret telling me how you feel?" Maya looks at Evelyn's face, at the vulnerability etched there, at the undeniable truth in her eyes. The pain for Sophia is immense, a crushing weight, but beneath it, a different kind of truth stirs. She takes a shaky breath. "No," Maya whispers, her voice barely audible. "I don't regret it. And that's what scares me most." Evelyn's fingers finally brush Maya's, a feather-light touch that still sends shivers down her spine. The air in the room crackles with unacknowledged desire, grief, and a fragile, terrifying hope. They have lost everything, and in the wreckage, they are finding each other.